The best author name in the history of Simon and Schuster is... Simon and Schuster has published tens of thousands of authors, but some of them have really, really memorable and extraordinary names. And I've decided that I want to pick the 10 best Simon and Schuster names of all time in our 97-year history. So here they are. Number 10, Rinker Buck, who's the author of the Oregon Trail. I don't think that I've ever heard of a name like Rinker Buck, but the minute I saw it, I remembered it. Number 9, Lana Del Rey. She's the author of a collection of poetry we published called Violet Bent Backwards Over the Grass. Obviously, Lana Del Rey is not her real name, but it's a hell of a name. Number 8, Taylor Branch. He is the Pulitzer Prize-winning author of Parting the Waters and 2 other books in our Martin Luther King trilogy. Taylor Branch, again, instantly distinctive and memorable. Number 7, Twyla Tharp, the great choreographer and the author of The Creative Habit and Keep It Moving. Number 6 is a tie between 2 suspense novelists, Mary Higgins Clark and Martin Cruz Smith. Now, what's interesting about this is that by adding the middle name, they made themselves much more distinctive. So Mary Clark and Martin Smith, nobody would have remembered, but Mary Higgins Clark and Martin Cruz Smith, now we really have something. Number 5, the wonderfully alliterative Megan Miranda. She's the best-selling suspense author of Such a Quiet Place and The Last House Guest and All the Missing Girls. Megan Miranda rolls right off the tongue. Number 4, Mo Raka. Now, Mo Raka is the author of our bestseller Mobituaries, and what's interesting is that his full name is Maurice Alberto Raka, but Mo decided to go short and memorable, Mo Raka. Can't forget it. Number 3 is Jasmine Ward. She's the only woman to actually win the National Book Award for Fiction twice, for Salvage the Bones and Sing Unburied Sing. I don't think that Jasmine Ward won because of her extraordinarily great name. I think she won because of her extraordinarily great writing, but Jasmine Ward is a great name. Number 2 is Stephen King, which is a prophetic name because he is the king of popular fiction. He sold over 350 million books and written over 80 novels. So he has lived up to his name. And number 1, the best name in the history of Simon and Schuster is, and he's here with me right now, Brad Thor. Now, Brad, can you please tell me about this extraordinary name you have and how you got it?
Well, thank you. It's a pleasure just to have been nominated, but to get the number 1 spot is a hell of an achievement, something I can add to my wonderful 20 plus years at Simon & Schuster. So John, thank you for that. You know, people often ask me if Brad Thor is my real name. And I say, you know, if I was going to choose a pen name, it would be between Clancy and Cussler. So I'd be racked at eye level, not in the T's, down at ankle level in all the stores. So I'm a junior. My dad is Brad Thor Sr. My grandfather, we're from Sweden and Norway. On my mom's side, Norway, my dad's side, Sweden. And so my grandfather was Nils Thor, and then Brad is my dad, and then I'm Brad Thor Jr. So it just stacks nice, 4 letters over 4 letters.
Well, it's interesting that you mentioned your Norwegian background because your new novel is set in Norway. It is called Black Ice. I believe that it is your 22nd novel. Is that true?
21st. So it's 20th in my series of Scott Harvath books. One year I wrote 2 books. I did a spin-off book called The Athena Project. And for those who are watching us right now, I tell people that my thrillers are like the James Bond movies. You can go out and see the latest James Bond movies, never having seen one before. So you don't need to catch up all the way through the previous 19 Scott Harvath thrillers. If you want to, that's great, but you could start right away with number 20, Black Ice.
Well, I can attest to that because I have not read you before, and I read Black Ice, and I had a blast. I think you put thrills into geopolitical subterfuge as well as any writer I've read, and it is a terrific novel. I want to ask you about the hero of the series, Scott Harvath. Now, it's Scott, S-C-O-T, Harvath, H-A-R-V-A-T-H. He is a former U.S. Navy SEAL turned intelligence operative. So obviously the first question, why only one T in Scott?
The Scott part comes after my brother, Scott. And he spells his name S-C-O-T. And the reason is my mother did not want to see it written out S-C-O-T-T-T-H-O-R. She thought it was too many T's. The first name is based upon my brother's name. And then the last name, Harvath, comes from a friend who works fighting international terrorism via the Department of Justice.
Well, it was a pleasure to read. It's a pleasure to talk to you. I think that a lot of readers are going to enjoy Black Ice, and they will never, ever, ever forget your name. And that is the word according to Karp.